Buck Sexton remembers very well. He's the co-host of the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton show. He joins us tonight. Buck Sexton, thanks so much for coming on. So when you watch CNN and they tell you that because a Supreme Court Justice Sam Alito wrote an opinion that the right likes, that the threat of violence comes from the right, what's your first reaction to that?
The Democrat Party is wallowing in its delusions at this point, doesn't know how to get out of them, quite honestly. I mean, the notion that there might be right-wing violence in response to a decision that the right overwhelmingly likes makes absolutely no sense. And beyond that, let's think about who we're really talking about here with the pro-life movement. Those aren't tiny Molotov cocktails they're holding when they hold vigils. They're candles. I mean, these are people who overwhelmingly in the pro-life movement want to protect life and protect people and are orderly. But the Democrat Party has never actually had a reckoning with the fact that there was a long-standing insurrection in the year 2020, and it was BLM and Antifa, and it was egged on by people in the press. There was mass looting and mass hysteria in cities across the country. They've never even had a moment of introspection about this, and now they want to lecture us about lawlessness in the aftermath of a decision that actually goes against them. But Tucker, if you're willing to believe that there's a right to abortion in the Constitution, you are willing to believe absolutely anything, and that's where the left is right now.
But it's like this with everything. I mean, this is the way they communicate, and it seems to me that people who are not passive-aggressive miss it every time. They say things like, you're violent as they burn your cities, as you just pointed out. We're not letting your kids into college because of their skin color, and you're a racist. Well, everything is like this. I can't remember an issue on which liberals flatly declared their intent and then backed it up with evidence.
Well, in this case, I think that there's some degree of political insurance that they're trying to put forward here by making it seem like, well, if things do get really ugly, and Tucker, I think they probably will. I mean, hopefully that won't happen. But with riots and protests, they'll make it seem like, well, there are provocateurs on both sides of this. Because I do think that people have started to figure out more and more as the miracle of the unifying Biden presidency and the adults in charge hasn't really taken the way that they promised, that the Democrats, the left, they are the riot party. This is what they do. They are the mob. They're the ones that freak out when they don't get their way, throw childish tantrums. They don't petition the court. They threaten to or try to burn down the court. We all see it. And so by trying to muddy the waters, they make themselves feel better about some of the hysteria that you've already shown. And God forbid something really bad does happen. They'll say, well, it was because of rising temperatures across the board. Yeah, rising temperatures from the Democrat Antifa lunatics trying to burn things down.
It's just so bad for I mean, leaving aside the issue, wherever you stand on abortion, it is not good for people to threaten Supreme Court justices. It's not good to spray paint churches or intimidate people out of going to services on Sunday. People are intimidated about going to church this coming Sunday. Why doesn't the White House just say, don't do that?
The lack of willingness. I mean, this was honestly a little stunning. I watch those press conferences a lot with Jen Psaki. I watch what they say in this White House. The fact that they wouldn't take one moment to establish the most basic principle that our Supreme Court justices, our Supreme Court, their safety is inviolate, and we have that is nonpartisan. This, tensions are really high. Don't say something like that when tensions are rising on the left and among Democrats. But Jen Psaki doesn't want to upset the Democrat base who are enraged and who are effectively melting down before our very eyes. And so she won't say what's so obvious, so clear, which is if you have any principles about sacred democracy and our institutions, you lay off the Supreme Court. You don't actually threaten people. You don't put up their addresses. But they are the party of the mob, and I don't think they're going to be able to turn that off anytime soon. So there's real reason for concern, unfortunately.
Yeah, it seems dangerous, for sure. Buck Sexton, I appreciate it. Thank you.